Which part of California do you live?
Oh, I'm in right outside. Santa Monica actually. So right outside of Santa Monica area,
Nice, nice, nice.
closer towards the ocean. I like to be near the water.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great. I was a film major, but actually, I never get into Hollywood. That's why I'm so admired that people can get into it.
Well, where are you based out of?
I'm in New York, Brooklyn, right
Oh,
now.
right on.
Yeah.
Cool. I love New York.
Oh yeah, it's really good for artists. The art thing is really good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. 100%.
Yeah. I'm really curious about what you do. You can introduce yourself, your name, your project, and how did you get into the NFT space from the traditional film industry, perhaps?
Well, my name is Matteo Santoro. I'm a director, visual effects artist. I've been working VFX since around 2007. I was on movies like X-Men, Incredible Hulk, 300, Iron Man, Avatar, designing alien planets and weird creatures, doing concept art. I also did 3D animation, uh, you know, compositing, matte painting, stuff like that. And then I transitioned into doing more of my own stuff outside of just working on other movies. I really wanted to work on my own thing, and I put together a series of science fiction shorts that I released online a while ago. That kind of, I guess, went viral. It was called Offline. I'll send you the link to that. But that was one of the first things I made that opened the door for me. That then got me like representation and some recognition as a director. Kind of kickstarted everything. And then I shot my first movie about 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. It's on Hulu and Amazon Prime. It's called Higher Power. It's a indie sci-fi film. Um, yeah, I mean that one was pretty tricky because we had a very small budget, and but it was my first movie, and ended up getting distribution, which was great. You know, Magnolia Films picked it up, so it was an indie movie that got picked up. We got some we got a DVD and a Blu-ray and all that stuff, which is really exciting when you're trying to make your own thing. And then I got to that point where I was going to work on my second feature, and I started developing this idea that I had, and I knew that it was like a bigger it's a big kind of world building project, and inside the studio system, if you have an original IP, like an intellectual property that is not really based off of anything like a comic book or a video game, it's more difficult to get those types of things off of the ground because there's no real built-in audience for that, right? And so I looked at the NFT space as a way to kind of grow an audience around the story I was trying to tell, so that I could kind of create a solid foundation for my project in order to make the film. And the project's called SIFT, SIFT, and I released my first series for it that I shot last year. And the first series of 6, I think it was, like these short films. I put them on Foundation. It all sold out, which was great, and got me, a lot of recognition in the NFT space as being a filmmaker and exploring the NFT world. And now I'm prepping to release my second series from SIFT that's going to be happening in January. And I got Paul Oakenfold, who is a Grammy Award-winning musician, to do the.
Oh yeah, I know Paul Oakenfold. I
Yeah.
used to work for a record company when I was in Taiwan. It's actually I order and I release a global I remember. It's like a global EDM DJs like Paul Van Dyke, Paul Oakenfold, Sasha, those are the so there's I still own several CDs from them.
Right on. Yeah. So he did the music. He did the musical score for my
Yeah.
project. So it was a
Oh
cool.
wow, wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it was cool because it's a cool, an interesting thing to collaborate, with musicians because musical scoring and film, they go hand in hand. It's like they're really important for
Oh,
each other.
yeah. Now
Yeah.
I remember those I released those completion is called a Global Underground.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's
Right
a series of DJs. So I do own several Paul Oakenfold's music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really great. So how did you know him? Did you know him in person or?
I actually met him at an NFT event. You know, funny enough, and he saw the work that I was working on and was really into it and wanted to collaborate somehow. And I said, well, I got a new one coming out. How about you do the music for it? And he was like, yeah, I would love to. So he did it. So and I went over to his house and we talked about creative, and I gave him the piece that I finished, and then he just composed the music for me. So it was really, it was pretty nice to actually have somebody follow through something, because a lot of times you just have people, it's just conversations, and to actually get him to do it, he must have been pretty inspired. So that was a great sign, and he did it. So
good. Do you prefer a foundation app or others NFT space like OpenSea?
I'm doing my next one on Nifty. So I'm
50 gateway. Wow,
yeah. I
congrats.
mean, I got into foundation earlier, so when like early on, I feel like it was a better platform. But right now, like the whole space, it's just saturated, right? It's just so hard to it's like you kind of have to figure a way to separate yourself from the herd. But that's just kind of just the name of the game, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When do you like how do you going to drop? Like it's like all like a different pieces, like fractional pieces, or is this like a one on one NFT, or is it like a
It's an
multiple?
edition. It's going to be an open edition. It's going to be a limited open edition, so like a window opens, so you can get one when that happens at the end of January. But I wanted it to be open editions because it's like a movie is a very like it's a community based ticketed experience, right? So like there's a version of it where you can do one of one, but I like the idea of like my first ones were all one of ones. But I like for this one, I want to do an open edition so that more people have an opportunity to get involved.
Do you have any like collaborators or besides the Paul Oakenfold, or any like do you have like a big team to work for you, or you mostly just music?
I mean, right now, a lot of it I'm just doing myself. I mean, I have my director of photography. His name is Dallas Sterling. He's a incredible cinematographer. He shoots a lot of the stuff I do. So I definitely owe a lot to him. Uh, you know, he's been working as a cinematographer with me for a very long time, and we really know each other well and can communicate with each other on set in a pretty efficient way. And I had my friend Bruce Mitchell, Conceptual Executioner is his name on Instagram. He helped me out with building some of the practical elements for SIFT, which is like I had this big robot in the trailer that I'll send to you. That he helped me build kind of the base skeleton, and then I built all around it. And but having his hand really helps definitely. And mostly like for the most part, it's just like editing, VFX, directing, like building all the costumes. I'm in the project as well. Like I star in it, I'm writing it. I'm kind of just taking all the responsibilities on my own because it's kind of hard I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just like, I like it too. It's really fun. So.
Yeah. I watched the trailer actually. I think that's your website. What type of a camera do you use? It looks like a dolly shot.
Yeah. Well, we use a red camera, so it shoots at very high resolution and it feels like film, So it doesn't. It has that. It has that quality. Yeah, it has that quality. Yeah.
Do you do like a lot of After Effects, or what type of apps or tools do you use?
I use I do use a lot of After Effects for compositing. I think it's a really powerful program. I've been using that forever. And I use Cinema 4D and Octane Render for a lot of my 3D. Although I know that Unreal and all that stuff would be cool to jump into. I just know Cinema 4D so well, so I've just been using that.
So what is your, I know right now it seems like people feel so anxious as a creators or even artists, even we are not really deal a lot with the cryptos. So what do you think about creators economy that people talk about it all the time?
Well, I mean, it's it's a tricky time right now, right, with the way the economy is and everything, but that it doesn't mean you should stop. It's like, I know people were inspired by the idea of money being there, and this is kind of like this really cool moment for people to dig deep to try to find something to separate yourself. Like I think now is the opportunity to. I mean, especially with like AI coming out, and it's just getting so easy to make something look cool that and it's just so oversaturated that, like, I think like now is the time for people to really artists are going to have to try to build, and grow as artists to see what they can do to try to separate themselves from the rest of the AI generated, like PFP projects out there that are just push button. And it's just like, I don't know, I feel like the value of things go down when the actual quality of the work goes down. And when people start to understand that it's just really easy to do that stuff, then obviously it's just like the quality, the value of it's going to go down. And so, like, with stuff that I'm attracted to is that where you can see that somebody actually like bled for this idea. They really put a lot of work into it and infused their soul into it. And a lot of narrative driven content stuff like movies, and because like a computer, like an AI program can't, like, I mean, I guess they can write, but like they need to be able to kind of come up with a solid story for people to believe in, and I think that like this creator economy is like the time for people to build and and not just kind of fall back on it's bad, it's a bad time, just keep making, look the bear market in the eye and wrestle it to the ground,
Yeah, I think PFP project, from my point of view, I think it's really hard. Yeah. Like as an individual artist, like independent artists or creators, you don't need to deal with team. Like a lot of people, they actually they want me to be part of team, but I feel like that means 24/7 you have to stick on Twitter Space or Discord. Right. It's like a nonstop talking, nonstop pitch to all the people who believe your project. And also, like PFP project is like a pretty I would say intuitive. Like even people they don't like your animals or they have their particular preference. That's very hard to grow later on. But as an independent artist, like I get into the space as an independent artist. I'm self-made entrepreneur. I used to run web design companies in New York. I feel like whoever like to buy my NFT, they just like my art, it's just, but if you run PFP project that you have to deal with a lot of people, they're like more like a fans. Well, I call that fans economies. You have to always grow your fans. It's just like you need to become like a Hollywood superstar. I think it's tough. But I want to see all the projects and I want to see everyone can be succeed because we have to work together, help each other. That's the whole thing about. I still feel optimistic, especially for creators and individual artists. So there's several people say YouTube they're going to have NFT. Like,
Oh, right. Yeah, cool.
so that's why I try to get into the space that I start to create a lot of video.
Yeah.
And pretty exciting because like I never really can get into Hollywood. Even I really love films. I love movies. But I mean, it's just it's tough for any ordinary people to get into become like something people they know who you are, like if you, but these days like if you create videos or even just short videos on TikTok, you can become famous just in one day. Exactly. Well, I don't really.
You have to fall off of a
I'm
bridge.
not a TikTok person, but I mean, it's just like it gives a lot of people a lot of new opportunities.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do you want? How do you want to promote your how should I call it, film NFTs later on?
Yeah, I mean,
you have prefer social media.
Yeah, on my Instagram, I mean, you can go to Matteo C. Santoro.
I just follow you.
Okay, yeah. And then SIFT.world is my website where you can check out a lot of the SIFT stuff in the NFT space. I haven't posted the new trailer on there yet. That's going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm going to wait till after the holidays to really drop that on people. But SIFT.world is where you can see a lot of the links for everything.
Do you have the exact time that you're going to have the drop?
I have to work. It's at the end of January. I'm working with a space in downtown, and we're going to lock the date in. So I'll have a better understanding probably within the next week. But I'm going to actually have a live event, almost like a premiere in the Arts District. And so, but I just have to lock that date in with them.
Close to Little Tokyo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I've been to that area.
Yeah. So it's going to be down there. We're going to have like a warehouse with like, projectors and everything, and like a party kind of things. So.
Did you ever come to NFT NYC or NFT?
Yeah. I was there last year.
Oh, I was there. I tried to interview to get the interview. I think I think I DM you. But
maybe
it was a messy. You
It was chaotic. Last year was
I
a
have
lot
a friend. She's a speaker, and she not even can get it.
Yeah, it was pretty chaotic. It was it was a lot of people.
Yeah, but I really like NFT LA. Even it's really not that big. But it's just like the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, like I would rather not be big, but have a more condensed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I went to Steve Aoki's party. It was like wow.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember, I had a lot of my work was there during that night. It was projection, and I had stuff on the inside on the monitors.
Is that the one that he looks like a robot?
Yeah.
So exciting. Okay, so that was you. You should mention great Firechat that is always, I feel like always exciting that when I talk to artists, so artists cannot be pessimistic. We need to have a good energy. And
yeah, that's true.
More energy.
That's because we're emotional people. We're emotional people, and
yeah.
You got to be tapped into those emotions in order to create something that works, so you can connect with people. And emotions, unfortunately, fortunately they go up and down. And so yeah.
Oh yeah. It can be really up and down. But I feel like art healing. That's why I always focus on my art. Not
It does heal. Well, keep going, keep focusing.
Exactly. Yeah, and congratulations. I'm really looking forward. And you can send me your trailer, and I'm going to send you that Steve Aoki's surprise clip. I love that. I love you. So people.
All right, awesome. Cool. Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah, thank you so much. And anything else you like to say about your project?
No, I mean, just yeah, it's coming out in January. It's gonna be open editions. It's a really strong film narrative-driven science fiction. If you're into science fiction, definitely check it out. And I'm also, if you get in on this drop, I'm gonna have a contest, and I'm gonna be giving away. And you'll be entered into the contest, and I'll be giving away physical props from the movie. So for this one, you actually get one of the electromagnetic blasters, which is just like this kind of cool sci-fi gun that you can get from the NFT. So there's physical utility in it.